but that's why I gotta dream it, got a vision, now they see it. But it wanna ride, they used to hate, but it ain't gon' slide. I put this rapping on my life, I put this rapping on my life. With my dogs, no pedals. Don't care what them hoes say, no Cuervo. You say you really out here, but you ain't even there though. And I ain't talk about Robert when I say I need dinero, Man, I'm talking.
Boy, God, now.
What is going on, everybody? So today's video isn't going to consist of us working on anything, but since we have one out and it's not being put in the car right now, I just figured I'd go over some of what you can look for when you get your JDM engine and exactly what comes with a JDM engine, because the case differs from, you know, who you get it from and whatnot like that. But for the most part, essentially what you'll be getting is you'll get like a partial wire harness, which they usually cut out of the car from Japan. So you'll have like all your connectors for all your plugs, like this here, how that's plugged in there, but it's all cut, so you can't use the big part. But if you need a connector, you'll have them, and you notice like a bunch of those kind of just all over the place. I already unplugged it. And yeah, so you'll have pretty much every connector you need, because they most time comes with a cut harness. So you can pluck and choose, you know, which ones you want to use. If one looks better than your ones on your stock engine, you can use those, or use the ones from this engine, your JDM one. So yeah, that's one thing. Next, you'll notice sometimes it'll have a partial intake, which, you know, none of us really use that, but I guess in case you're trying to retain some kind of factory setup, they give you, you know, part of it sometime. But yeah, that comes with it. Sometimes, depending on if you get an auto or manual, they'll have the flywheel on it or a flex plate. But you know, again, beautiful thing about Accords is you can actually use your Accord stuff, so your Accord flywheel, all of that'll bolt right up to the H23, the F20B, and the H22s. All of that's interchangeable. A lot of times they'll give you the alternator and the AC compressor, which I've never been able to use one of these AC compressors. I think the mounting points for the lines are a little bit like different, so you might have to custom make it to make it fit. But I have used a bunch of these alternators. They're pretty much the same as any OBD2 car. I know I've used I think one or two in my trap car, and I'm also running the JDM one in the F20B CG that we're working on too. So you'll have your backup one of these if you have a 96 and up Accord. If you have a pre-96, what you can do is, since they give you the wire harness, you can modify this plug here, this little green plug, if I can show it to you. But yeah, see this green plug, a lot of times you can modify it, just cut it like up this way or depin it, and you can, the wires, I believe they said the wires are the exact same colors, so you should be able to just re-splice them to the plug from your other harness and use that, or you can depin it at the plug, but you just got to know which pin goes where, and it'll work that way as well. But you will have your backup alternator, so that's cool. You get the headers a lot of times. The F20B that we bought for Nisha's Accord didn't come with headers, but I never use them anyway. I always get some eBay, $60 headers and use those, because like I said, on somebody come in on the last video and asked me why I do that when you can use the stock headers and make the same power, which may or may not be true. I never really, dynoed a car with stock headers on it, but I know for a fact it makes it easier when you're connecting the rest of your exhaust to use an aftermarket header. It's just like with the flex pipe, it brings your exhaust all the way back to like near the back side of the engine, so then you can easily connect to like a catback or whatever you might have on the car. So that does make it a little bit easier. They always come with a distributor. As far as I know, every engine I've seen at JSPEC has a distributor. I always try to run this distributor first before you take it off and swap it for another one. All you gotta do is get that plug like I've been talking about from Rawwire. I'll put another picture here just in case you're new, but I'll put a picture right here. Rawwire sells the adaptation harnesses that allow you to run the distributor and everything from the JDM engine with your USDM wire harness, because a lot of times USDM has a different plug for the distributor, and the crank position will be routed way back here and be kind of like mounted on the back side back here by your crank. So it'll allow for the crank position. The crank position in the JDM engine is inside the distributor, so it'll allow that harness to run back around and be inside the distributor as well, making the engine run. So yeah, make sure y'all check Rawwire. I always use them for that harness because nobody else that I know of makes it, and I really rely on, I trust them. I've never had any bad problems with them, so yeah, I always use those people for that. But you get your distributor, and you all know these are high, so it's best to try to use the one from Japan if possible. I've never really had one be bad, except I want to say it might have been my third engine, the engine that's in the car now. No. It was my second one. My second H23 that's in the trap car. That one, the distributor wasn't any good, so Mills had to swap it out for one he had in the shop. But other than that, all my distributors have always fired the car right up, so I never mess with timing and stuff like that until you really know you have to. Like, don't be fucking with it. If it came out of a running car in Japan, it should run now like it's not been touched. It should be all good. That's what I would try to tell people, but who listens to me? I'm just Dale. So because I don't use H motors online, this sensor right here, the throttle position, TPS, is usually always broken. So this is rare that this engine has a good TPS on it, because usually they're all smashed up. Really, that's kind of my fault because I don't use H motors, but in my opinion, for what those are, you can get you one out the store for like $50. It's worth that to save, because H motors, good company, love them, but they want a lot more. They want like another $150 for the same engine. So I don't know. I'm about saving money. We all about saving money on this channel. So yeah, we just kind of slide past that, and that's why I've been using JSPEC, man. The man always hooks me up with good deals. That little sensor, like I said, I've put 2 on the trap car before, and I want to say the AutoZone ones I be getting, they're like $44, but you probably could get a real one from Honda for like, I don't know, $70. I don't know, I never really priced it, but yeah, really, it's not worth them having that, packaged all properly and stuff. But anyway, you get that. Everything else is pretty much the same as the engine you take out. Now, these engines work best in OBD2 cars simply because the sensors are mostly the same, especially for CGs. So it's funny because not a lot of people swap those, but CGs actually have the majority of these sensors the exact same on the engine that comes out of them, the F23. So you can actually plug and play pretty much everything. The only thing you have to change is your oil sending unit, which is really easy. You can just snip the one off of here, wire it to, it's one wire, just wire that to the harness out of the CG, and you'll be good on that. But the majority of all these plugs actually lines right up to the harness that you have with your CG. So that's a plus on the you know, the 98 to 01 Accord. So that's a good thing. But it will work in any other bodies. You just have to go for whichever model you have. Again, I'm yet to be able to do this in a CB7. We did do the F22B and Jeff CB7, but I'm yet to be able to do a VTEC engine. So I'm really excited about that with mine, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. For now, this is where I'm gonna end this video with. I know it's pretty short. I just want to do like a basics of what you'll get with a JDM engine, just in case like some of y'all out there may have never bought one, and so you were wondering. Sometimes they will throw a computer in, pretty pointless to me because you can't use it. It's an OBD2 computer, and with our OBD2 cars, they have the chip in the key, so it'll automatically like lock the computer down if you don't have the key that came with the engine. So pretty pointless, but at least they'll give it to you. I don't know, some people might figure a way to run it, but yeah, that's pretty much what you're gonna get with your JDM engine, unless you get the transmission, which is a whole different story. But as far as just the engine, this is what you get. So this is where I'm gonna end this video at. I appreciate everybody's continued support. I will catch y'all in the next one. As always, like, share, subscribe, and respect all bills. Peace out. By a show of likes, who ready to see this put in German CG? I know I am.